Hello everyone and welcome to Doll My Shop. Today we're going to be taking this pattern that you can get off of my Etsy and making a Yummyland shirt and a pair of pants. I made this pattern because when you receive a Yummyland doll, they come in a plastic dress, so I thought it would be interesting to give them a shirt and a pair of pants so that they can have a casual look instead of always looking like a princess. When you go onto my Etsy store, this pattern will be available to buy, and when you buy it, it will become a download, and you can download it to your computer and print it off with your printer. And on the pattern itself, it will lead you directly to this video so that you can learn how to sew the pattern. All the pieces are cut out now. Now it's time to put them on fabric and cut them out. The fabric choices that I chose was this bright pink for the pants, and some adorable watermelons for the shirt. To cut out the shirt, you have to fold your fabric in half because you're going to cut on the fold. And that's what cut on the fold means, is when you fold your fabric in half and set the pattern on top. When you are finished cutting it out, it should become one big piece. I'll show you that a bit later after we're finished cutting everything out. Fold your fabric in half again, but this time cut all the way around your pattern piece because this is going to make two separate pieces that are going to be the back pieces that make the shirt close. Moving on to the sleeves, just cut out two pieces with the pattern piece at hand. These are how many pieces you should have when everything's cut out. This is the back piece. It will go onto the front piece like this, and the other back piece do the same thing like this. And then the two sleeves, eventually, will go into the armpits right there. But for now, we're working on this piece. We're going to sew both shoulders on the sewing machine. All the seam allowances for my projects and many others are 1/8 of an inch of a seam allowance. When sewing along, don't forget to do a back stitch in the front and a back stitch at the end. Do the same to the other shoulder as well. Okay, the shoulders are attached now. Before we put the sleeves on, I like to do the neckline. I figured this out while teaching you guys, that this makes it much easier to put on the sleeves when you do the neckline first. Because when you do the neckline first, it's easier to sew when the sleeves are off. I don't know why, but it is. So that's a new tip for you guys. Sew the neckline first, and then put on the sleeves. A tip when pinning, fold your hemline down, and take your pin and poke it in through the back first, and then weave it through your fabric. I'll show you closely. Stick your pin from behind and weave. Stick your pin from behind and make sure it grabs the hem. If you want to see a video on how to do different ways in pinning, I have a link for that in the description down below. I also have a video about how to put Velcro onto an outfit, and I also have a video on how to not get your stitches stuck when you're doing tiny hems on your projects. Now that you're done pinning, sew along the neckline. The seam allowance for the neckline is the same thing as the rest, 1/8 of an inch. Another tip when sewing along the neckline, take it slow and steady. Don't try to go too fast because you will miss. Make sure to go as slow as possible and take care. Okay, the neckline is fully sewn. Now it's time to put the sleeves on. Center your sleeves on the fold in the back. The fold is the place where we sewed the shoulders together. Once your sleeve is centered, you can start pinning the rest of the sleeve into the pit of the garment. Watch closely at what I do and follow along. Once you're finished with one side, do the same to the other side. Now that we have both sides fully pinned, it's time to take them to the machine and I'll show you how to sew them. This is what each side should look like when you're finished pinning. Sew on the sides where you can see the seams. Let's take it to the machine and I'll show you a closer look. Sew along the edge where you can see this spot here. This reassures that you are sewing along and catching the actual sleeve on the bodice. Make sure to backstitch right where the sleeve meets the shoulder because that's where a lot of the stress goes when being played with. Do the same to the other sleeve as well. Okay, the sleeves are attached, now it's time to hem them. Make sure to do the same thing I told you before. Poke your pin into the project from behind and make sure that it grabs the hem. I'll show you close up so that you can see it better. Okay, this side is done. Let's do it to the other sleeve as well. The sleeve is fully pinned. Now let's take it to the machine and sew along. The sleeve hem is the same as the rest, 1/8 of an inch. Don't forget to sew along the other sleeve as well. Okay, everything is hemmed on the shirt. Now it's time to sew up the sides so it can go onto the doll. Make sure that both pits meet up with each other. That usually helps the shirt stay aligned. Line up this part as even as possible. Once everything's lined up, pin it. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay, both sides are all pinned up and everything looks like it's aligning nicely. Now it's time to sew the side and the other side so that it can go onto the doll. Sewing the sides is the same as every other seam allowance, 1/8 of an inch. Backstitch the armpit and the end as well. That's where a lot of the play happens, so we gotta make sure that it's nice and secure for our kids. Though I don't have kids myself, I do have a sister, and my sister loves to play with her dolls roughly, so in the armpits and the shoulders is where everything wore out the fastest when my mom bought us doll clothes from Etsy. I'm cutting off any extra excess so that it will be easier to put onto the doll. Now that the sides are hemmed, it's time to hem the bottom of your shirt. Just pull up 1/8 of an inch of a seam allowance and then pin it in place. Then we can take it to the machine and sew across the edge. Pin the same way as we bend the whole project. Everything's pinned, now it's time to take it to the machine and sew across. Take it to your machine, and this part is very special, so if you want to see how to specifically do it, I have a short that teaches how to get across this fabric without getting stuck, and you can find that in the description down below, along with how to do the Velcro. I did not show how to do the Velcro in this video because I wanted to make the specific video about making Velcro. So it's in the description down below if you want to see how to put Velcro onto your projects. Okay, now on to something much easier, the pants. The piece might look complicated, but it's not. It's very simple to put together. First, pin each crotch side so that it will hold still when you're sewing. Just copy as I do here. Okay, for pants, there is a longer side and the shorter side. We're going to sew the shorter side because that goes in the front of the doll. The longer side is for the butt. Sew along the shorter side 1/8 of an inch. Now that the shorter side is sewn, we're going to unpin the longer side and open up the project so we can put the casing. You have to do the casing first before you close up the pants. The casing is what's going to hold the elastic. That helps it go up and down the doll. The elastic size that I use for most doll is also 1/8 of an inch thick. So we're going to make the casing the same size so it doesn't roll around when you're trying to put it on and off your doll. Because sometimes when sewing, things that apply on real life clothes apply to doll clothes as well. If you make your casing too large on your pair of pants, then your elastic is going to roll as well. So making the casing the same size as the elastic is very helpful. The casing is all pinned now. Now we're going to pin the bottom of the pants as well, because since we're already here, it's a good idea to do that as well, because when you take it to the machine, you can take care of sewing the bottom of the pants and the casing. Then all you have to do is close up the back and sew the bottom. You'll see what all that means here in a few minutes. Okay, that's finished. Now let's take it to the machine and sew it. Sew along the edge of your casing and try not to miss. See, this is how close you need to sew to the edge. Be extra careful, because even me, as a professional sewer, was getting a little too close to the edge. I'd say most definitely the hardest part of these projects is the casing and the neckline of the shirt. Now that you're done sewing the casing, sew the bottoms of your pants as well. Okay, this is the fun part, the elastic. I like to use a large-eyed needle because the large-eyed needle can fit just about anywhere. Some people want you to use a safety pin, and safety pins are a certain size, so you have to make the casing the same size as a safety pin. And most of the time, that makes it too large for the elastic you're about to use. What I'm saying is, when you counter for the safety pin, it makes your casing quite large compared to your 1/8 of an inch elastic. So when you use a large-eyed needle, it gives you just the right amount of space so you can put it into the smallest of casings. Another fun part about pulling elastic through is the elastic springs itself, so you know exactly how large you need it for your doll. See, this is the perfect amount of stretch. And it's just by putting the elastic into the pair of pants. Now we're going to pin right here so the elastic doesn't move. Make sure that your pants has just about this much stretch. I know that's not very specific, but that's about all I can tell you about elastic, because I'm not even sure myself how I figured out the right stretch amount. It just looks about that much. I wish I could be more specific for you guys. Anyway, pin the last part of your crotch so that it will stay put when you're sewing, and then keep the pin in your fabric when you're about to sew. Don't take it out until you do a full back stitch, because your elastic will spring back inside your casing. And don't forget to do a back stitch right here as well, so it will stay secure. Now that you know that your elastic will stay in place, you can cut off the excess. Now it's time to give your pants a tug, and then it will flatten them out. Make sure everything's lined up at the bottom. Just follow what I'm doing with your piece as well, and then pin everything together, and then you can sew it on the machine. Just make sure the legs are lined up. And then make sure the crotch is lined up as well. Pin everything in place, and then we can take it to the machine. Make sure to do a back stitch when you start on your pants, and then once you reach the crotch area, which is the middle of the pants, do a double back stitch so that when the legs are moved around, it won't break open. And then finally, do another back stitch once you reach the end of your pants, right here. Now the last thing to do is turn your pants right side out, and then it's ready to put on the doll. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to look at the other videos that I created for you guys down in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one. And if you just want to purchase this outfit, it will be on my Etsy as well. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye, guys.